What's good, gamers? I'm Garge. Before this podcast starts, I'm going to say that the mic audio sometimes shifts to one ear because of the microphone I'm using, which kind of trades off no buzz, or rather less buzz for the chance of that happening, instead of this mic, which has more buzz with no chance of that happening. So tell me if you'd like it or not in the description below. And Garge, oh, what's good, gamers? I'm Garge. Welcome to episode. I already forgot. It's like this is. I'm pretty sure this is the 12th. Nope, 11th. This is the 11th. 11th episode of the Gargecast, and I am here with Sheepy.
Well, hello there.
Hello there. Welcome to the podcast. You're the first hat to be on the show.
Wow, I'm honored.
We've had an Australian. We had a gun. That was pretty cool. We had a girl.
Oh, you had a girl.
I had a
Wow.
girl. I got the most views because of the title. My favorite part of the podcast is just naming them.
That's
Because
fair. That's fair.
it's always good. I liked school shooting default dance. That one was good. But so was ethnic cleansing.
Yeah, like what's behind you and you're like titling your podcast? Is it just for interest? Is it just for fun?
I usually like when I'm editing it, I'll be like, that's a funny thing, and I'll just like pick out funny things, and sometimes I only will go with one, and sometimes I'll fucking just meld them all together into one. Like for episode 8, it was literally called "Horse Fuck Cum Eyebrow" because he told a story about how he came on his eyebrow, and then we talked about the guy that fucked a horse.
Oh my
Well,
god.
Mr. Hands or whatever. He died. Boeing engineer fucked by a horse and dead. Be wildin'.
That's crazy.
And tags are always like, I always love how I have the fucking TubeBuddy thing, and it's like, oh, it's actually gonna get you demonetized.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, demonetization has been a big issue right now.
I would know because I can't get monetized. You can, I think. Yeah, you can. You meet that
Yeah,
requirement.
well, I'm not monetized only because I personally hate ads.
I use AdBlock.
But I mean, yeah, people use AdBlock, so it's like I feel like people really wanted to support a channel. They could
Patreon.
easily do that by like, yeah, opening a Patreon, having your own merch,
My friend
having some sort of
try to
sponsor.
guilt trip me into like being mad at me for like using AdBlock, but I have multiple defenses on that. Like for one, I only watch two things mainly. I mainly watch one where they make all their money off of Patreon, and then another that's literally a charity event, AGDQ. So that's like all I watch.
Right.
So it's really like not really taking anything away from them. I might
Yeah, I feel like
stroll away, but it doesn't matter much.
yeah, and people get really like upset, like, oh my goodness, you're not having AdBlock, which means you're not allowing to support the creators. It's like, well, there's other ways to support the creators. Like your watch time on YouTube is more valuable than the view they're getting for their ad.
If the
Watch time
money
increases the video and all that.
if money was that big of an issue, they would take initiative and get merch or Patreon or fucking literally anything. Because if I've been told like you're taking away the YouTubers' money, but if it's really that huge of an issue and they can't live without it, I love supporting creators. I'm literally wearing like YouTube merch right now. I love supporting
Yeah,
them,
so cool.
but I also hate ads, so it's like a
I
trade-off.
mean, yeah, it exactly makes sense with some of the clients that I have. With they're trying to get their channels, making money and whatever. They're always trying to like ask me like, okay, what's the best strategy? And it's like, well, it's not just one strategy; it's multiple strategies. But mainly, you shouldn't be doing something that you wouldn't personally want to see, because like that's why I don't run ads on my YouTube channel. Also because I'm just not that big enough. Because I just no one wants to see ads, right?
I hate ads.
Yeah, and so it makes total sense to just have a way or an avenue to be able to make that money or do a sponsorship or something. And some people are just awkward and trying to get themselves funded, and they think that it's just not very authentic or they're selling out. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're running a channel and you're trying to get paid for it, you should be doing the best you can to try and do that. Hustling it.
Also, I think it's never too late or too early to start merch, because even I have merch and I love it. I don't advertise it frequently. I don't even put it in the description of my videos, but I have it. It's just my kimchi coin design on like shirts and mugs and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Cause you don't have to
It's
like go
different.
all out. You could just like I literally did it so like I'll like eventually buy it like cuz I'm about to get my own like little room basically. Basically an apartment.
Oh
So
wow,
I'm gonna get like I'm gonna get like one of my clocks and I'm gonna get like fucking shit to decorate my room with art that my friend made for me and he let me sell it. It's great.
yeah, it's incredible. So wait, so where are you moving from or whatever?
Well, I live in Florida. Like, my mom is living like a city away or two, and we're moving out of this house, the house I'm currently in. My sister and her fiance just moved out like literally like today, and
Oh, today.
yep, and my sister and is like the only one that lives here. I basically get home from school, I come to this house. My sister takes me over to my mom's house and I sleep there. So she lives here alone basically.
All right.
So her and my nephew are basically living in this house alone.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then I'm gonna
Yeah, because
move
I've
over
been
to my
thinking of like
mom's.
moving out of my parents' place eventually one day, but
With me,
I'm
it's
always
not even
I'm
moving out of
curious
my
to
parents'
see.
place. It's literally like it's an office, but it's basically like a building like right outside. It's basically like a
Yeah.
it's just a big apartment that I'm gonna get to live in, and I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna have my own mini fridge. I'm gonna have like I think I'm gonna have my own laundry stuff like where I can do my own laundry. So I think it's gonna work out pretty well. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
for
good
sure.
because I'm 15, so I think independence is very important. So this is gonna be great.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I They have to like because they have a dog, and they always put the dog in the office, and they have to fix a giant hole in the wall because the dog would scratch at it. So like imagine like took a sledgehammer to the wall right next to the door, and that's what the dog
Wow.
did.
Yeah, that'd be gnarly.
I mean I might keep it and just be like, yeah, dude, I'm so manly. I punched a hole in the wall,
Yeah. Just hi guys, check out my sledgehammer.
guys. Check it.
Just like show your.
I didn't even use a sledgehammer. I just punched it. I was just like, ooh!
Oh my god.
I gotta
It's
show off how
freaking heavy, yeah, right. Cool.
having roid rage. Thank you, Chief. Are you gonna be good? I got my bird on my
That's
shoulder now. Nope,
incredible.
never mind. He flew away. So what's up with you? How's everything going?
How's everything going?
Yes.
So to kind of give a little context,
Mhm.
I stopped posting probably I want to say it was sometime during the summer, and it was kind of gnarly because March I had a little bit of a car accident, and I kind of posted a little bit about that. And then April and May, I was trying to kind of come back from that, raise some money and do some different things. And then around June, July, when I was really grinding hard, I was starting my own business back in like February, and it was really doing decently. My Apple computer, which I use to record, edit, play TF2, interact with people, it just died.
Mm.
I forget the specific reason, but I took it to the Apple store, and the guy was like, "Yes, she's dead." And whenever like a technical guy uses a non-technical term to describe a situation, it's just not good.
They already pre-ordered the tombstone for you and everything.
Right.
They
And
are
I was at
this
that
dude.
point.
This computer is
uh,
deceased, all right?
Exactly. And so I knew it was just like it was time. And so at that point, I didn't have the money to be able to afford a new computer. I mean, we're looking at like a grand
Mm.
or more for a new Apple. And so I was like, all right. And my parents were like, cool, your Apple died. And I was like trying to get some like support from them, and they were like, nah. And so I bought myself a an iPad, which actually was a really good purchase at the time. And then I saved up money, and then I bought the parts to the computer which I have now, which is the computer I was started to build. I want to say about a year and a half ago. And so through the summer, I built my business, and then
What's your
right around
business?
September. So I was really like I got a lot of time taken away from me because I started working on my business, which is essentially what I do as I've been promoting other YouTubers specifically within Fortnite and other games around giving them marketing tips and advice, and not just kind of what you would see on YouTube, but also getting them sort of not just like doing their marketing or like managing something, but also helping them with advice, promoting stuff, kind of getting an idea of what they're doing as a business. And then also what we do is we kind of encourage them into a context and a business mindset. So we give them a little bit of like education, give them a little bit of training, advice, marketing, and then we also help them with different things and provide them with the community.
Real question: how do I get people to buy my skirts? I have skirts on my shop and nobody's bought them yet. How do I make them buy them? It's actually great.
Well, you have to find your target audience. So you like essentially you're hopefully providing value through the podcast, or you're just providing entertainment, and hopefully you'll find people who really like it, and maybe there are a bunch of girls who really need a new skirt, so they'll reach out.
Man, I could really use a skirt. Ooh,
But
this one with
essentially,
the
it's
bird on it. That looks pretty good.
yeah, there you go. You gotta have some variety.
There's the page. You could look. There's like a bunch of shit on there.
Oh my gosh, I'll look at this.
Love
But
it.
yeah, so like that's what happened, and then as soon as I got right as summer was ending, which was around August, September, I went ahead and got myself. I just randomly got a job at Starbucks, which is where I serve coffee and work in the drive-through. And
Is that why
between
general chat in
that
your
job-
server is called coffee discussions?
No, actually, I actually didn't drink coffee and don't really drink coffee religiously at all. I just call it coffee discussions because every single solid conversation I've had with a friend or with like my mentors in the past has been over usually coffee in a coffee shop, even though I don't drink coffee. So
I think coffee
that's kinda
tastes
the
like dirt
idea.
water.
Yeah, I don't really know why it's too popular or why it's good. I mean, I think coffee with like cream and a little bit of sugar is decent, but coffee on its own is just not much.
Hot chocolate or nothing. I'm a little child though.
Hot
I'm
chocolate
I'm
isn't
like
bad.
I'm an infant. The only sounds I make are bubbling
Honestly,
in
a
my
lot of
mom's
people come
womb.
in for hot chocolate. It's it's pretty.
Hold on,
Yeah.
my bird's in my
So,
laundry. Hold on.
oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly.
Can you
So
like get out of
back
there?
that was kind of, huh?
I need to get him out of there. Dude.
Oh,
He's sticking
okay.
his head through the laundry basket and shit. Hey, come on. Yeah, good boy. All right, what?
Basically, when I got the job and when I was working, I had a little bit of time, so that's when I built the computer, which came up in September, and then that's when school was really starting to hit. And then between school work and my job, I was not having a lot of time. And then about partial way between September and October, I was just working my face off. And then in November, I got a third job, or excuse me, a second job, or well, no, technically a third job. Business, I'm not sure what you call it, business job. I don't know.
I'll go with occupation.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a big word.
So I was like swinging it as a student. I was a part-time student. I still am. I was working nearly full time, and then I was doing my business, and so I had like no time for anything else. And then when I did have a little bit of time, I picked up a job at American Eagle, sort of some holiday hours for something fun because my motto has always been like I can't do one thing. I always have to be doing multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always just wanted to do that, and so I never had time for YouTube, and so it just kind of fell through the cracks, which I was kind of bummed about. But it just happened between, kind of summer and what I had planned, and but what always was in the back of my mind was, and even still is, when I work in drive-through at Starbucks, and when I interact with my customers, it's really apparent that YouTube has made an impact on that because I'm just sort of a natural extrovert, but it just sort of plays out when I interact with customers, and it's crazy because I'm like, people are always commenting on one thing or another, and I just love it. And so Starbucks always has reminded me of YouTube and vice versa, and I've always wanted to come back, and so now I'm finally going to try and come back, and you know, I don't have a lot of time, but I have tried to limit. I don't have my seasonal job anymore, and then my hours at Starbucks are still more, but I'm learning to get more out of my weeks than I used to. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of crazy, but it's a lot of fun.
I'm only 15 and I have never had a job, and I'm kind of just flunking school right now. I
I
have
mean,
I have
and
multiple Fs.
it
It's pretty
sounds
great.
like a lot, but wait. So what's going on with you being 15? Could it be-
Well, basically, school is not good. I think it's making me depressed, and I am flunking it hardcore. And so the plan is, when I turn 16, I'm just gonna get my GED and just kind of be on my way. Because
I mean, that's not a bad plan.
I mean, it literally like because I already basically did all the smart people classes. Like I did like pre-algebra in like sixth grade and geometry in eighth, and so I basically have like they're giving me like these stupid classes. Like they're like, okay, you have probability and statistics. There you go.
Right.
You get world history and chemistry. There you go. It's like they're slapping them onto me because they have like no other like things to give me.
Are you like homeschool, private school,
I go to
public
public.
school? Okay. Because I was homeschooled, and honestly, I can kind of relate. I mean, I was just kind of taught that if you got anything less than a B, that like that wasn't good, and so I never loved school. In fact, I didn't really like school at all, like you, and I struggled in my classes, but I always made sure I got my A minuses or my B pluses somehow. And honestly, I didn't have a lot going where it was sort of possible. But as soon as I started launching my business and I had YouTube, I realized that school is just not my thing. So when I got to community college, because I wanted to save money and go to the community college route rather than going to a big school and gaining debt. I realized a big thing. I realized school really isn't that hard. It's more of just really going after and succeeding and following through. Like my writing class, I thought I was a horrible writer all throughout high school, and it was horrible at different things. I'm finding I'm a pretty decent writer. It's just more about like understanding and following through, because so many of my classmates, they give excuses for not doing the homework, or they're just lazy, and I'm just surrounded by this like wall of just you know I don't know, you like if you cheat in college, you're just cheating yourself. Like there's no
That's
point.
that's why I don't want to go to college is because if if I'm at a free school and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this, why would I go to one where you pay for and just not do it because I'm getting nothing out of it? I might get something
Well,
out of
it's
it if I get
more
like 12,000
it's
scholarships, but other than that, not really much to gain.
what's your macro? What do you want to what are you looking for in the future?
Um, I want enough to be able to live comfortably and still do what I like, which is basically just talking with friends and podcasting. And
Right.
the dream is just to actually be able to podcast.
I mean, and we talked a little bit before about hot ones.
Hmm.
Sean Evans didn't become Sean Evans just by kind of starting. I mean, I'm sure he developed and went through that sort of drive through a little bit through college and a little bit through actually doing the work. But part of being a really good podcaster is part of is knowing maybe a little bit of background about what is involved in production, which obviously doesn't have to be much, but it would just give you a step up. Knowing a little bit about like journalism, or maybe asking questions and seeing how you could like know a little bit more about psychology. And don't think of school as necessarily a block of busy work. If that's all it's been, like it was for me in high school, yeah, it's gonna suck. But then when you see it as something that you can use to kind of make you more valuable, it's like investing in yourself. Then you go, oh shoot, I'm like actually outputting this. Like my I'm taking an interpersonal class, and it sounds like a block or whatever, but really I'm learning about how I communicate and understand others better, which will give me an idea of how I can communicate my videos, my ideas, anything that I have, whether it's business or YouTube or just people or friends. It helps me understand that framework to better do that.
Hmm.
And so it's like literally something I can use. And so for you, I would just encourage you to like look at it as if they're giving you busy work, if they're giving you chemistry at 15 years old. I never took chemistry, dude.
It's
Like
fucking stupid.
screw chemistry. I did not want to mess with that. Still don't want to mess with that. I mean, and GEDs are smart. Like, you're just getting your core classes, and then that, and you're gonna find that maybe you're more interested in the classes in college than you are right now in high school. But it's really just getting through high school or getting your diploma or whatever, and then going to college and just kind of getting in that. I'm gonna get in and do my best, and then be a podcaster. Like do this on the side or do something else. Like hustle hard to try and get more and more people. Look at what you can do, like marketing or whatever, trying to boost your podcast because yeah, you can you can totally live comfortably.
That's what I
It's
want.
look at everything you do as a opportunity to improve and get to where you want to go, which is be a podcaster.
Yeah, I remember like I'll just have like I've always been thinking like I could, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't have the drive for that, and I was like, I'll make YouTube videos, and I made two TF2 ones where they're edited slightly, and that fell through because I was like, okay, I'm done with this. And then I streamed. That was fun. I did a 24-hour live stream once. That was torture. I like live streaming a lot. I think I'm gonna mix them up. I'm gonna live stream and then cut the good parts together and upload those.
And it's also like it's a process. Like I let's see, 15 was I'm 19 right now. So 4 years
Look at this
ago,
fucking
I
old
was
fart
just getting. I was
boomer over
playing,
here.
yeah, in one sense. I was playing this game called Tanky Online, and I was making videos, and I was just learning how to edit. In fact, if we're at September of 2015, I was just learning how to edit right now, actually. So like, I only had an inkling of liking YouTube, and I wouldn't know that would take me from a few thousand subscribers to then pursuing it more, and then doing more and doing more, launching a business, and I wouldn't have known that. So, don't think you have to have life figured out or any of that. Just like, look at what you currently have as an opportunity and go from there because you're gonna find that you're gonna want to do X or Y, and that's just it just develops.
It'll develop. I'm just kind of like riding the wave right now and hoping that it
Exactly.
falls into place. Also, I just thought like brought up something very interesting, and now I'm thinking like people are always like learning to edit and like, but I basically like always just known how to edit. Like, I'm like certified in like Adobe Premiere, but that was after I've already known how to edit. Like I had the TV production in middle school, so I did that.
It's really cool.
It's very fun, and I used to use probably heard of it. It's called VideoPad Editor.
Yeah.
It's like a baby's first editing software. Fucking, they have like it may as well just be fucking put the circle in the circle hole. It's just like very beginner friendly, and that's about it. But
Yeah,
that's
so
what I
I would
use.
say like that's already you're already realizing that you have abilities and talents. Like again, I realize like so many of my friends got like full ride scholarships or whatever. I think I took the SAT test. I want to say I got like a 1200 or something. I didn't apply for a single college because I think college is sort of a rat race in terms of you're going to get ripped off and you're going to have to pay a lot of money, and that's my personal view on it. Some people, they think that they're gaining a lot of value and a lot of ability, and I think that if you're going into a field like maybe being a doctor or a lawyer, you sort of have to go that college route. But if you want to be a podcaster, I would say the best advice would be going to college for the at least the ability to just kind of rub elbows, and
Hmm.
then hit up every single podcaster and be like, hey, any tips or what can I do, or just see what you can do to learn, maybe intern, just like get that life of learning. Like maybe you get to intern for Joe Rogan or for Hot Ones or for something like that, making like barely any money or no money, and then maybe you learn something really impactful over 2 years, and then you start your own podcast 3 years down, and boom, you have something going. I don't know.
I feel like what's really holding back my podcast, and it's just kind of a general thing, but it's basically like it's me, and then the the episode for this week is just someone like sometimes it's someone like sometimes like I had OK Fellow and Shork, I've had Super Dasmo,
Yeah,
I've had like streamers, Audio
yeah,
Beam, but then sometimes it's like just my friend from Discord, like this Norwegian guy I'm friends with.
yeah, and like doesn't sound like he's that interesting.
It's
And like
basically
you're gonna
like
have people. yeah, you're gonna have people who are like you are excited to like talk to, and maybe you have people that you're like, no, this could have been, it's kind of just thrown together.
I
But
fucking
you
love it
know,
though. I've been like I ask
yeah,
around a lot. Like I got like Zapdy and Burfosaurus for the podcast recently, and that's like
yeah, you
hype. I
asked
love
me a
them.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, gosh, you probably asked me probably September. I'll check back here in a moment, but like,
Oh, I
it
can
was
check it right now because I'm in the DMs right now. Because it has to. I have to keep it open so I can see the.
yeah, here it is. October of last year. So you've been knocking on my door for at least like 4 months.
Yeah. We've known each other for a while, but we have never like interacted. Like I remember like joining the voice chat whenever you were like adding everyone every now and then. And
And then I was really popular too when the Pyro update dropped, or not Pyro update, when like the
heavy update.
gosh, well, it was Pyroland or whatever.
Oh.
Jungle Inferno. There we go. Gosh, I was
Yeah, the pyro
forgetting
update.
the name there for a moment. I was like really active, and like things were going well. And I remember having my MacBook and everything was dandy, and then boom, it like crashed. Wait, was that 2017 or was that 18? No, that was 17. Dang, dude. Time flies.
Yeah. Though I just thought about how I've had people for the podcast like they said they would, but then like I think Sammy, he just doesn't like me anymore. So
Oh no!
he literally got me a warn on Shork server, even though I didn't
Gosh,
break a rule.
that's not good.
Yeah, he doesn't like me or Moxwort, and I think
So,
that has kind of led to Crimson and like some of his other friends not liking me. It's just like a
yeah, I
chain
don't. I
reaction.
mean, that's something I don't get. Is like, gosh, I when I work or when I just interact with people, someone will say something like, "I really just don't get along with these 7 people," and I'm just like, what are you doing? And it's not necessarily them. It's more of this environment of like suddenly you like people are aligning themselves with different sides, and I'm just sitting here going like, how the heck are there sides already? Like I know Mozart, and another guy who is in my Discord. Oh my gosh! And I kind of know of Crimson,
Mhm.
and I still am in this group called Just Play, and it's a trade server. And I remember I
Yeah,
used that for an event. I had some people join, and man, that was a while ago. Um, but like otherwise,
I have quite a few
I
friends
don't
in Just
like.
Play.
I just don't really see a lot of people, and I don't get how like these like divisions form either. Other than like, someone posts something in their Discord and then they get banned or whatever.
Mhm. It's just like factions. Like there's gonna be friend groups, and it's gonna be hard to like
Yeah, I guess so.
spread
I can see
out.
that.
Like Moxort, I'm very grateful to have Moxort because he's like because Moxort, I've been able to get in touch with people like Audio Beam, and I've been able to get in touch with
Yeah,
fucking like a bunch of really cool people because I was just friends with him. And like
yeah. There's Minty.
I haven't talked
Gosh,
to
I'm
Minty
just
in a
trying to
while.
look through something.
I think Minty likes me. I'm pretty sure.
I want to say like, oh yeah, I remember Rob the Awesome was around here.
Rob liked me for a little
Mikey
bit.
is supposedly in the group. I don't know. I haven't really interacted with Just Play, and again, it's been months. Been way too long.
Um, I think Teopal blocked me or closed DMs because I tried to ask him to be on a podcast and it just didn't work out. Because I've talked to him before.
And the hard part is that you're gonna have to somewhat leverage. You're gonna have to do more than just ask someone sometimes to be on a podcast,
Mhm.
because you're gonna have to be able to give them value and be like, hey, I want like it's like let's say I went to some like a big business and said, hey, I want to do a deal with you guys. Can you show me on your front page of your business? They'd be like, what are you offering? And if I said nothing, they'd be like, haha, get out of here. However, if I said, hey, I will promote you on my marketing services, or I will promote you for free, or like work with you for free, or something like that, and you can use me as a referral. There's an opportunity there. Like for instance, one of my coworkers has a photography business that's decent, and I know if I got in there and I did some free stuff for him, I could probably develop some opportunities. And so you're gonna find troubles probably with some people because YouTubers, like I work with YouTubers, and the biggest problem is that there's a strong ego sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have people at Starbucks that have who are entitled and like want to get their drink or whatever, and have to get it made right. But like when it comes to YouTubers, it's just a whole other 1,000, 100,000 people love me. You better just worship me. And sometimes if you don't worship and stroke their ego, they get really just, they get flustered sometimes. Like I remember I had to end a call with somebody. I'd given him an hour and a half. It was supposed to only be an hour call. And I said, hey, I have to go. I'm really over time. I'm supposed to meet up with a friend. And I remember him telling me, what friend could be more important than our conversation right now?
Who needs friends when you have super famous and epic me? Man, I'm so awesome! Ugh.
Right. And and I had to, say, hey, I'm sorry, this is just going too long, and I had to hung up on him, and I ended up losing the client. But for me, it was more important to kind of respect myself and respect my friends than it was to initially handle that conversation. But all I'm trying to say is there's going to be YouTubers who, and I'm not saying TL Opal has, 'cause honestly, I don't really know anyone right now in TF2. It's been a long time. I've only been following like maybe one or two TF2 YouTubers vaguely over the last few months, and but I'm just saying as a struggling YouTuber, as someone who I remember I used to do that where I went to YouTubers and was like, hey, what can we do to collaborate or do something? It was tough for them to be able to like kind of, you know, go on that loop or try to do something together or find some sort of equal trade in one sense.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I've had people that I literally, like, out of the blue, like, I out of the blue asked Teal Opal, hey, do you want to be a part of this project I'm doing? I asked Crimson, hey, do you want to be a part of this project I'm doing? People that I, I got bearded expense for, like, people I've never talked to, and they said, yeah, I'll do it. And they really got nothing, like, they really gained nothing from it, even though I didn't upload it. They would have gained nothing, but they just did it. And
Yeah, and some people they're willing. Like I'm glad that overall TF2 is like a pretty generous community where people are, whether it's their time, their money, like their money, especially with some of the charities that we've seen. Um, but they're pretty great people. Like I love our.
yeah, I love, like, just like I've been able to just fucking, like, because I've been like, hey, what's up, and just talked, and they were like, yep, I like this guy, pretty cool. Like Audio Beam, like immediately, like I was just like, okay, so we have a common friend of Moke's where I talked to them while we were together, and he was like, it just hit off immediately, like, because Audio Beam was a TFTuber, and it just kind of like easily just kind of like made the friendship like right there in the voice chat.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like I remember Audio Beam. I think it was him and Moxart. There might have been a third one. There might not have been, but they're wonderful people. I remember I had this like it was one of my first server events, and I think both of them joined on it and they recorded. This was back when I had the Mac, and so I wasn't really recording it. It was crazy. It wasn't really organized, but I tried to organize it, and I just remember having a really fun time. I remember I posted about it, and I just was like, wow, they're like really cool people that like just got out of nowhere, and like still to this day, I think I saw Mox Art in my Discord, which is cool, and I have to see where Audio Beam's at.
Audio
I think
Beam is fucking like gone. He's like got a life and shit.
is he really?
He's
Oh
I
man,
DM'd him like, hey, you want to be on the podcast again? It's been a while since we've done an episode because he was episode 5.
yeah.
And I
Let me
remember
see.
we fucking literally spent like an entire night literally playing Roblox together. Like that's literally like what we
Oh
did
wait,
the entire night for like multiple
yeah, he's
hours.
here. He's here. Yeah, I have him. I was on his Discord the other day, and I remember it was like, gosh, I remember he had like sent me an invite or whatever, and I had joined. Yeah, here it was. Yeah, it's been a while, but we just talked a few days ago.
Yeah, audio's great. Cause even though he is like basically like in the friend group of Crimson and Sammy, he like I feel like they couldn't really make him hate me because he's just like too nice of a person to be like flopping sides and shit. I feel like it was easy for like Sammy to tell Crimson not to like me because I didn't really know him.
Tardy, that's the guy.
I
It's
don't
already,
I
man,
don't
it's
remember
been a
Darty.
while.
All I
It's been a
know
hot
is
one.
that Moxwart knows him, and that my friend Beza also knows him. That's about it.
Buzzer boy,
Beza,
yeah.
I've been friends with Beza for like a year. He's cool. He was also supposed to be on the podcast. That just doesn't
Yeah,
always happen.
yeah. I think that was about it. Yeah, those are like the few people.
I'm trying to.
Man,
I'm
it's been
looking
a
through my
while.
DMs, seeing who
That's how long
else.
it's. I think it was
Um,
back in December that I was planning. Yeah, it was back in December that I was like planning to come back, and then that just didn't happen because obviously it was over break. I like love when I get over break. I get all these big plans, like, oh, I want to do this, oh, I want to do that. Kind of like how people get like these, New Year's resolutions, and then they just kind of fell flat because I didn't have a. I when you have your time planned out to the hour, it's just like, oh gosh, when do I like actually do this?
I was gonna do. I did a stream, like a live stream, kind of recently. It's the most recent stream where I played Super Meat Boy for the beginning of it. Played it for like an hour, and then I played Duck Game after that. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be cool. I'm gonna split up the game, so I'm gonna have a game as video and then another game as a video, and then I'm gonna edit those. And then after watching Meat Boy, I'm like, wow, I cannot edit this into a video because I was too like stream oriented. Like I wasn't planning on making it a video, so that's
All right.
down the shitter. So I can stream again and do it, but it'll just have to wait.
Yeah, for sure. Huh. Yeah, so it's just that's kind of what's been going on. It's more of just like this long story that keeps evolving because I mean, even still wanting to come back. I mentioned I wanted to come back a month ago, and just so many things happened as well. Like
What the heck is
back in November, the city I live in, there was a really insane fire that threatened a lot of the areas, threatened my own house. There was even a mass shooting that happened like 12 hours earlier than that. There was a lot that happened in between that just kind of prevented me from really, you know, really getting me out there because every time I wanted to come back, it just felt like something was really pushing, and you know, it was hard to bounce back from both those things because I don't know. It's when it happens in your city, there's just a level of
I live in Florida. I know
really,
that feel, dude. We get like schools, like we get shootings like every other week.
gosh, it's scary.
It's Afghanistan down here. It's like Afghanistan, but with alligators.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it must be a lot different. That's for sure. I don't know. My town was always a town where it was quiet, where it was peaceful. Like I think one of my town was like one of the third safest cities.
Ooh.
Um, and then like that just all changed. But it just was just like I don't know. It's just a weird. It's hard to describe. That's for sure.
I really like. I've never really thought about that. Like, the area I was in could have been actually terrible, and I would have known. Like this neighborhood,
Yeah.
I'm in like a rich white person neighborhood right now, and even here it's like very bad. Like people are, like lighting fires. Like there was like a building. It was like an old clubhouse, and it was burnt down, and they had to like completely like demolish it. Now there's just an empty lot over there.
Dang, that's gnarly.
Yeah, and there's like a secret path that you go off of it, and you can go to a giant bike thing where you can ride your bike through all the mud. In other
Yeah.
neighborhoods, I probably like could have been like shanked when I was outside playing, but I didn't know because I was like 3 years old, kind of like waddling around, fucking falling over and crying and dripping snot everywhere, whatever babies do.
And like I don't think even like growing up we really see it because we don't really understand. Like someone had always told me that there's like thieves and criminals out there, but until someone broke into our car when I was like 9 or 10 or whatever, I really didn't feel that or understood that. And then you kind of get a really rude awakening to how evil the world can be, and that just kind of puts you in perspective. Like, oh my goodness, the area I'm in is not as safe as I thought it was, or you know, whatever you think of like home or whatever is like compromised, and then you just have this feeling of like, well, even is this safe? Am I safe? Like, what's normal?
That got deep.
It's just Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of like, it's sort of just a different perspective. Um, because you just kind of grow up not realizing that stuff, and then it hits you, and you're just like, dang. But I think also, like, sort of the light side or bright side of it is it makes you appreciate what you have. Like, because I've experienced some of these horrible things recently, I've been more appreciative of the people I have in my life, or the things I do have, or the opportunities I have. Where some of my friends are complaining about, not being able to, do this or that, or have a direction. And, while I don't have the scholarship for it, I do have a direction. I do know where I want to go. And, sometimes it's not necessarily a luxury. It's more of just awakening to knowing what you want.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it changes too. Like, who knows? Like, I'm running this business right now, knowing that it won't last forever. Like, I love working with Fortnite YouTubers for the most part, and people from Overwatch and different communities. But I don't think it's gonna last forever. Like, you know, I think it's a good experience. But some people are like, "Oh man, this is gonna last for like 10 years." But I'm like, okay, thinking like 20 years down, can I make not necessarily money, but can I both be happy with this forever or like for a long time? Like, I don't know.
I think people are really putting their money into the YouTube basket right now. People that have Patreons are very smart because then once fucking YouTube eventually becomes like basically unmonetizable and everybody moves platforms, you can still make money by uploading content to fucking Vimeo.
Right. But the problem is like so many people are thinking or kind of expecting people to just suddenly support them.
Hmm.
Like, I've found that so many people, so many clients that I have are like, "Why am I not making money?" I'm like, "Well, you might have 100,000 subscribers, and maybe 10,000, between 10,000 and 50,000 are watching your videos consistently. But maybe, it doesn't matter how many people you have watching your videos, it comes down to your engagement. And so many people are lacking are you actually interacting in the comments? Are you actually making an effort to really connect with people?"
Hmm.
And so many people are just not doing that. And then they have the expectation of like, oh, they're going to donate money or they're going to, do this or that. And it's like, you're totally missing the point of what you're doing. And they have this idea that people are just numbers.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what we developed as YouTube and called normal. And it's like, no, like, it's about the engagement.
It's about the people.
It really is. Like, people are the ROI. People are the reason why we should be doing what we do. Like,
Hmm.
I every time I go to Starbucks and I put on the apron and all that, I'm not necessarily thinking like I'm gonna take on the problems of the day or anything like that. And I don't really care about the work culture there because it's not my world. But whenever I do put on the apron, I want to make sure every customer, because I am sort of the image of Starbucks when it comes down to it, I want to make sure that every customer gets what they want, they're happy, and I provide them with not just a good or decent service, but like a connection. And that doesn't happen by just saying hi, here you go. I mean, there's personality, there's communication, there's being genuine.
Spunk.
I mean, I've had some customers that get really upset. Like, I remember I had this person. She was not yelling at me, but she was getting to that point. It was like that tone of voice where you're like, things are about to get worse till they get better. And she was explaining how there was almond milk instead of soy milk, and that was an allergy for her, and that the other person didn't have seem to make it right, and this was like yesterday, and she was explaining it, expecting me to get upset with her or just
Like,
kind of
you know what?
tell her to go away or whatever.
Yeah. Let's take down
Yeah.
this building together.
Right? And then I went from the complete opposite direction because what I've learned is you don't fight with, and I'm not there to fight with the customer anyways,
Mhm.
and most people, they'd just be like, oh, well, we're making for you. But I was like, you know what, that is wrong. I'm sorry you experienced that. And I
Not much I
empathized
can
with
do.
her, and I was like, you know, and I went the complete opposite direction. And she went from about to yell to like completely shocked. And then she apologized. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm taking it on you. And I'm like, No, I understand you get your order wrong and you want to make it right.
I
And I've
literally
just
that
found
I
that,
literally
like,
got a wrong order today. I ordered a pizza. I was like, "Can I get a large cheese pizza?" And they're like, "Okay." I get it, and it's literally pepperoni and sausage, like the farthest you can get from just cheese.
yeah,
It's like, come
and
on.
like, ugh. And mistakes happen all the time. Like, someone will want to drink hot or iced, and we make it hot, or we make it iced, and we have to remake it. And like, it's no skin off our nose. But I've just found it's like all depends on how you handle it. Like if you're like again, if you're YouTuber or a podcaster and you have a large following, but you treat your following like garbage and you just make posts to kind of entertain them and entertain your ego, then you're missing the whole point, which is the people. Like you may not have 100,000 people following you, but if you have 10 people, or even if you have like one person that's like dedicated, like that was what got me on Discord, man. I had like 20 people that absolutely were there every single day, or pretty much every single day. And those are like a lot of the people that are my precious partners right now. Shout out to them.
Mhm.
And like it was awesome, and like they still like a few of them still interact with Discord, even though I've been inactive for, gosh, if we count September, like 6 months, 5 months, and that's real, and it lasts. And a lot of people are like, well, interacting with the 10 people is not going to get me to 100,000. I'm like, yeah, but it's the macro game.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I have like what right now? I want to say 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers, or something in there.
You're
It's
at 2,169.
not reflective of.
Ha, nice.
That's kind of gnarly.
69.
Like I have, 2,169, and how many of those people are in my Discord? 100, and I want to say 26. How many are actually interacting on a daily basis? Probably around maybe 20. And then
Well,
how many am I like reaching out and talking to? Consistently, maybe three or four.
I
And
have
so when
like
you like,
I have like 90 or like I have 89 subscribers, and my Discord is like 40 people, and it is dead.
yeah, so like you can have, I can have 100 people in my Discord, but if only 10 people are in the conversation, it doesn't really matter. But those 10 people do really matter, and I've like recognized that. And it's not just like a business idea, like, oh, I'm in it. You're in it for the long game. It's just a realization of what matters, and people are after money, or they're after success, or they're after views, or the caring of other people's opinions. And when it comes down to it, it just comes down to the people and what you're really doing. Like I love the process. I love the idea of podcasting, or I love the idea of you becoming a podcaster.
Hmm.
But I don't love podcasting for what I'm going to get out of it. I love it because of the process.
I
That
like
putting
talking
my
with cool
thoughts.
people for an hour at a time.
Yeah, like that
Especially when it
whole
gets racist,
idea,
that's when it's fun.
right?
I think I said hard R N word in like every episode.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like it comes down to like, you know, having that process and being creative. Like that's what drives me. That's what drives it's like the complete opposite for some people who like they get hooked on the money and they're like or they started out small and modest. They were just doing stuff for their friends. They start making money and then they start trying to like flex that, or they start having to like, feel like they have to change their content and make it more fancy. And it's like, no, people like you for who you are. Like, do you know Backpack Kid?
Do not.
Dude, Backpack Kid was this kid who he filmed a video when he was around 12 years old,
Me too.
and it's of him with a backpack doing a silly dance. And he said he did the silly dance because he liked entertaining people, and he thought it was a different way of doing it because he saw how many people were doing formal dances. This was before Fortnite, by the way.
Hmm.
Um, and then he started to monetize his content. He's made a lot of money, but now he's like different. Now he's not just the backpack kid. Now he's trying to be like a rapper or something like that. And he's showing off all his gear, and it's yeah, he might be making a lot of money, but it's not what he used to do. It's like people subscribe or people like you for who you are, and then people feel like, oh, well, who I am is kind of silly, but not what it should be, and they have to like change your facetto and your facade and who you are and all that. I think that like, I don't know. why don't you get some light on this? Like, I think that would really happens in high school. Like, what do you see in high school in terms of people trying to change themselves?
I see. I got nothing. I can.
I mean, for me, I was homeschooled, so I don't have a lot. I mean, when I say I'm homeschooled, people automatically think, oh, you were at home, sitting in your room or at a desk, with what, your mom or with yourself. It wasn't like that. It was more like 90% of the work was done at, home, and then I was, maybe out going to a class, 2 to 4 hours a week. But the people in my classes were all focused on kind of flexing their knowledge. They were looking at trying to prove themselves with their clothing or the name brand or whatever. They're trying to prove themselves. It's kind of like just because coming of age of like who you are and trying to flex who you are and how cool you are.
My mom has money. Look at me.
Right. It's like currently this idea of right now everyone is trying to flex the fact that they're in school, but they're also able to have a social life. They're also able to have, travel and do all these cool and quirky things. And it's hilarious to me because I don't really care. I don't know who they think cares. Like, if they're legitimately doing it because they're interested, that's one thing. But most of them are just it's like in Fortnite or any game really.
Mm-hmm.
When people spend all this money in it, they're trying to like show off that they're good at the game, and then you like kill them and you realize they're not that good, or they're trying to like say, well, I spent $200 in the game. Like, I don't think anyone really cares that you spend $200 in the game. Like, yeah, they might marvel that you have a cool skin, but I mean, do you really care?
I want to be like that man. I want to waste money on video game. Give me credit card, mom.
Right? It's like this hilarious, what are you doing? Like, and some of those things cost a lot of money. Like, they spend hundreds of dollars. Like, I know people at my community college, like, there's people that wear shoes that I know cost like $800, $900 because I'm kind of interested in sneaker culture. I'm not really devoted. I only have a few pairs of cool sneakers, but people are really devoted in the sneaker culture and they spend a lot of money.
There's literally like a
And it's
stock
like,
market of shoes.
Right?
How do they
I don't
sell
get it. Like,
shoes?
it's just this idea of like posing, and I don't know why people pose.
Shoes
It's
are the new
just strange to me
cryptocurrency.
whether it's yeah, the new cryptocurrency. I don't know.
Coins.
I think just people want they want validation for who they are, and I think that comes down to just a lack of self-awareness.
Mm-hmm. How long have we been going? Like, about 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So we have like 10 minutes left.
10 minutes left. Any thoughtful questions, queries?
Alright,
ideas?
so, video games. What have you been
Video
playing
games.
recently? Go.
That's a good one. So this is actually a good question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will reveal to you how much time I actually have. Back in September, I think it was between. Oh no, I think it was December. No, yeah, somewhere between December and Black Friday. Oh no, it was Thanksgiving. I don't know why time is important for me.
That's a fucking trip.
It was during the sale. I was trying to remember which sale it was. I bought Starbound. I'd always been interested in Starbound. Bought Starbound. I love Starbound. Absolutely love it because I have like this deep, secret desire to like travel and leave, everything I have right now and just go somewhere and start a new life, sort of thing. And so I love Starbound because it really like it just kind of fits that idea. Although when I was playing, I had this like special weapon that I earned early on, and then I like somehow lost it, and now I haven't really picked it back up. I just sort of got like resentful and didn't want to pick it up again. I'll pick it up though at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a grind sometimes, but it's beautiful. And then AER, that's my cat by the way in the background.
Yeah, I was like, I hear jingling.
I was like, nah, it's not me. It's
be.
my cat.
I mean,
love
they
it.
might. Your parents might put a bell on you. I don't know.
Right? That'd be kind of weird.
Well, I mean, they give like kids leashes. Like they put on backpacks, but they're fucking leashes.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything crazy in real life, but like there's always like those weird internet pictures where you see people and like their parents put a leash on them. I'm not sure if it's for a picture or reality or whatever.
I've seen
I
like,
know
in real life people that have backpacks with leashes on them for the little kids.
Yeah, I've seen like little kids and like this like not leash but like this rope doesn't none of that sounds good. I'm not like thinking of good things in my head.
They got a oh god no, they had fucking thing. It was going through one ear. What's it doing again?
The noose?
My yeah, the news. No, my fucking my mic.
Oh,
It
I
was
don't
going
know.
through one ear. I hope it wasn't for too long.
Hopefully not too long. No, but it was more I can't think of it, but Starbound, AER Moments of Old is a beautiful game. It's an indie game. It's not really known very well, but it's a beautiful game. Absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, I love AER. I haven't really picked it up though because it's a short game, and so I'm trying to like keep it last for a while. And then I've been playing a lot recently. Um, it's called, oh my gosh, what is it called? It is
Ethnic cleansing.
Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah, Star Wars, Forces of Corruption. It's sort of an expansion of Star Wars Empire at War. It's a game I got a long time ago, and I just like it from the playability. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm not like a diehard Star Wars fan, but I like it because you have three different factions, and it's pretty interesting. And there's like a cinematic mode where you can like watch what you're doing, and so you like do a space battle. And as a kid, I used to like do all like wild imagination of like these space battles, so it's kind of fun doing that now, being a little older.
Mhm.
And then I played Majesty, which is another super old game from a developer that I used to follow um, way back like 10 years ago, and I played that a little bit, some replayability there. But I think that's about it, honestly. I have Paladins installed, I have CSGO, I have TF2, but even TF2, like none of those games I really touched. So I just didn't have enough time. Like I felt like with TF2, you kind of had to develop, or not develop, but invest a few hours. And CS:GO, I'm just not good at. And with the new computer, I'm playing on a mouse now, not just a trackpad. Because I was playing on a trackpad before.
How?
So different. So different.
How
Oh
do you
my
play on a trackpad? That's impossible.
The trackpad. A lot of people ask that question, like, how do you play with the trackpad? The trackpad wasn't that bad. I got really good at tapping, at whatever. Like looking at it mechanically, you're like, how in the world? But when you actually start playing with it, it wasn't that bad. It was more the fact that I couldn't spin that fast.
Mhm.
Like if I wanted to switch weapons or whatever, like I couldn't do that extremely fast. I had to do that more with my hands. So I got a good like workout in terms of my like individual fingers. Like I was like really good at tapping or whatever. So it wasn't really that bad. I always like tapped frag. It was more of the actual like graphics
Mhm.
that was bad. Like my CS:GO and my TF2 graphics were not great by any stretch. If you look at my older videos, and
My
hopefully if you look at
computer
my
is
current videos,
garbage.
hopefully, yeah, they're not bad. I mean, they're not bad. Like comparatively, they're not bad, but they're not great either.
Uh
You
huh.
know, it's like you shouldn't be playing TF2 with a Mac.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't be playing mini games with a Mac. Mainly
Yeah,
because it's a Mac.
but like I did love playing CS:GO, and I played CS:GO, and I used the Negev. Oh, that was so much fun. I love the Negev.
Fun fact: CS:GO is the only game I have a VAC ban from, and I've been VAC banned for like 1,000 days or something.
Oh my gosh.
I've been VAC banned for. Drum roll, please. It's loading. What's wrong with my internet, dude? Why is it taking like 12
I don't
years?
know.
1,090 days.
Oh my gosh. Wait, so before we like end up here, what games have you been playing recently?
All right,
Anything, any
so
recommendations you have for me?
all right. My gaming console of choice is the Nintendo Switch. Because that's what I own. And so I have recently like been playing a lot of Enter the Gungeon. That game is fucking great. I used to play a lot of Binding of Isaac. When I was in middle school when I lived with my dad, I played a lot of Binding of Isaac. It was like something I shared with one of my friends. Enter the Gungeon is just kind of like it brought it back to me, and it's newer, it's fresher. It's definitely got more replayability than Isaac.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just started playing a lot of that. I've been playing a lot of Skyrim. That's also a nostalgic.
Oh
That's
my
a
god.
nostalgic game
Yeah.
for me, and I don't know why because I didn't even play it a lot when I was younger.
What about have you been playing Smash at all?
Oh, I have over 190 hours in it.
Yeah, dude. So many people I've been like saying, you gotta play Smash, you gotta play Smash.
You
How
got
is
it.
it?
It is, I think, is the best Smash game, by a landslide.
That's awesome.
World of Light is fucking great. Online could be better, but it's still passable.
Yeah.
Anything more than 2 players is kind of bad, but that's just peer to peer for you.
Yeah,
Solo
for
mode
sure.
is pretty cool. Get collecting all the music is fun. Just very good. I've been playing Tetris 99 as is everybody.
Yeah,
That
for
game's
sure.
that game's great. And then I
Have you
think
been playing the Tetris Royal Battle Royale or something like that?
yeah,
I've
that's
heard
Tetris
something
99
on it.
is it's
What
the
is it?
you know how you have Battle Tetris where it's 2 people playing and like you get lines and it'll like
Yeah.
affect the other person's side. It's basically that, but like there's 99 people and like people get eliminated by like getting knocked out or toppling or getting topped off. So it'll like you have like ways
All
to
right.
target
All right.
people. It's very good. Free if you have online. Oh fuck.
Okay. Fair enough.
And then I think I've been playing like Jackbox games with my family and Super Mario Odyssey.
All right. Right on. Right on.
I love Odyssey so much.
Any Steam games?
Um, mm, can't say I have because theater's just kind of been worsening. I've played some. I think the only game that I can really like be like multiple games I can be like get that is definitely gonna have to be fucking Shovel Knight and Bully Scholarship Edition.
All right. Right on.
I love
Cool.
those. I think how much time is it? I think we have like 3 minutes. So I'm gonna uh talk about Shovel Knight. I think because it's very good. I like it because it's like, dude, he's in Smash. I really wanted him like, whenever everybody was speculating for Smash characters, whenever everybody didn't even know what the title or the subtitle was for it, everyone was like, okay, I want Waluigi and Minecraft Steve and Sans Undertale and this and that, and I was like, I just want Shovel Knight. And that's all I really want because that game is very good. It's an indie game,
Yeah.
so indie rep in Smash Brothers would be fucking insane. Oh, he's an assist trophy though, which is still fucking wow.
Yeah, for sure.
They did it. I mean, I'm not. It's not surprising seeing as there was it was on the Wii U and I believe the Switch with the co-op with with the amiibo, but it's still a big step for gamers. I liked the free DLC they keep pumping out for that, where you get to play as the fucking you get to play as the two of the bosses that you have to fight. It's literally just like you. It's basically you get 3 games running on the same engine, but they're all just completely different games. I love it.
Huh.
I'm looking at my Steam library right now. Postal 2, very good game. How can you not like it?
Awesome.
I really have not played like my Steam library in like forever. Oh, Game Dev Tycoon.
Yeah.
Game Dev Tycoon is fucking great.
What do you? All right. Last question for you.
Yes.
'Cause I know we have to wrap up. But where do you see this podcast going in the next 6 months?
In the next six
Next
months,
is like
probably a more steady
July.
schedule.
more
Because
steady schedule.
well, right now it's just whenever I end up recording it. So basically,
Right.
how it went was, I did it like weekly for like a little bit, like 3 weeks maybe, and then like had 3 6 months ago, 1 5 months ago, 4 4 months ago, and then 1 3 months ago, 1 1 month ago, and I feel like if I can like, it'll probably like eventually become like, oh, okay, so I have like it's gonna be like at least like one a month. 100% is what I want to go for at least.
Yeah.
The
What
biggest
about
issue.
like 6 months specifically? Like you're already in. Imagine you're already in July.
Hmm.
You're already in the middle of summer. What do you want to have already come?
People that will basically watch any episode of it because I feel like what I want is to be a personality. I just like everything I say is always a joke. Like if I say something, I'm probably trying to get a laugh out of someone. I'm very rarely serious, and so people that can appreciate fine humor, like when I say the N word, it's very very important. I'm Southern, so it's fine.
Yeah.
When they can laugh at the funny N word because it's my high IQ humor, that's what I want.
Yeah, right on.
I want to be
Have you
able to I
thought
want to
about
be able to do a solo episode and people be like, "Oh hell yeah."
have you thought by chance about like recording, like playing games and like recording your voice, like some of those other channels do, and they like do comedy or whatever?
Commentary videos? I did do that at some point. I used to do surfing commentaries. I also did Let's Plays. This channel has
All right.
gone through a lot. I've deleted a lot of videos. I Let's Played for a bit. I did Pokemon for a bit. I did a lot. But I feel like the podcast can definitely be going places. Like, I think a good goal is to get it on Spotify because, from what I've seen, it's a fucking pain in the ass.
Well, right on. More power to you. I hope, either by this podcast or by future, you'll be able to like leverage your podcast, meet more people,
Mhm.
really get into good conversations, and most of all, I just hope that you continue just grinding out, like getting through school as sort of a momentary thing, and finding out what you want to do, and just pursuing that, man. I mean, it takes time. It's I didn't know necessarily. I didn't know what I was doing at 15. Like you don't
Mhm.
have to know what you're doing at 15. You don't have to have a job. Just be, just trust the process and love the process, man, and be dedicated to the people that are enjoying your podcast.
Mhm.
That's it. You'll be set.
And Twitch streaming. I gotta do that as well. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, throw your personality on Twitch. Like, I love it. Well,
It's the
I want to see.
best. I like it. I want it. I want some more of it. I still can't believe I haven't. I can't believe I haven't said a racial slur this entire episode. I gotta do it now. What's a fun one? I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Dune Coon. Final answer. Dune Coon.
Dune good.
Dune Coon. It, it's it's
Huh.
it's 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 the joke is that it's a sand nigger, but it's a Dune Coon. You get it?
No, I don't.
Okay, okay. So sand nigger is like a racial slur for I think like a Middle Eastern person. And
Okay.
so coon is a racial slur for a black person, and a dune they're like some sand shit. I don't know, fucking desert shit. So a dune,
Huh.
yeah, sand, and then coon, black person. Get it?
I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't get it. But if it makes okay,
Just say
I
you
don't.
got it, and then we can just plug our shit, and we can we can
Yeah,
end
that
the
sounds
episode.
fair. That looks good. I get it.
Dude, nice. Racist buddies
Oh my
unite.
god.
I'm
There
not a
you
gamer
go.
because I have no
Alrighty.
life. I'm a gamer because I hate women and minorities.
Oh my gosh.
Unplug. That's like my favorite. Unplugs itself.
There you go.
All right, so you can plug all your stuff, and then I'll plug my stuff. We're waiting.
Huh?
You have to plug your shit like your like social media and your YouTube and
Oh, plug. Sorry.
yes,
Um.
plug walk.
Oh gosh, sorry. I was waiting for the plug. Thanks for having me on the podcast. Really, if you want to check out more of my stuff, just check me out on YouTube, and honestly, just send me a friend request and let's talk. Like, it's been a while since I've been back to YouTube, Discord, and those places, and kind of what I mentioned in the podcast. I just want to come back to the people because that's what makes YouTube, my business, and all of that worth it. It's just the people.
I've been guards. You can check out my Twitter, probably my Discord, uh, my Twitch. I don't really think I have anything else. Should I? I think I'm gonna start plugging my merch as well. Go buy some of that. Buy a skirt, please. Thank you.
Yeah, the leggings look pretty cool. I checked out the leggings. You should throw a picture right now of the leggings.
Yeah.
They look pretty cool.
Oh, boom.
They're
Everybody,
only $40.
I will give you my TF2 inventory if you buy a skirt. All right. So that's been episode 11 of the Garbage Cast, and we'll see you guys. And I don't have an outro for this shit yet. I'll just PewDiePie. Bro fist. Maha.